Hello everyone. It's finally here. Kali Call of Darkness Season 3 Episode 13. I'm so excited for this. She's both the spider and the web. She traps you in her threads and she also gives you complete freedom. We had this problem with Rishi, but I do feel that he is being dragged into shade, so I decided to give him some slack. But I still believe that Giran is the messiah. Episode 13, the place where Mahakali dances. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, they were about to sacrifice us in a ritual, right? Warning, this episode contains description of violence, suffering, and death. Do not kill someone I love, I'm gonna be pissed. Silence fell in the hallway. The last of their attackers neutralized, the men stood there, breathing heavily and looking at each other. All that was left were the bodies, splattered walls, and the metallic smell of blood, an inevitable end. I was sitting in the middle of that carnage, surrounded by other people suffering. It was draining and scary. They're crazy. The hierarchy is in shambles, and they're tearing each other apart like animals. Devdas can no longer run the city the way he wanted, if he ever could. And this is the result. People are going insane. I remember that we were punched, that's why our lip is bleeding. I think only the bassoons can keep things under control. This place needs order. At this point, they have been trying to rule this place the way they want, and it started to blow up in their faces, so they need a new leader. No other hair can do what I can. Even the Dubais turned out to be unfit rulers. Ooh! Ignoring AMRIT, because he actually was leading shit. He was like, you leave your post because you're unqualified for it. I'm gonna take over. He said to his father, have a seat. I'm in charge now. As soon as the Bazoos gave up their lands to them, the chaos began. They need a firm hand capable of showing them what happens when they disobey. Your choice will affect the plot. Killian immediately rushed to me. Killian, my other baby. Are you alright? He crouched down, giving me a worried look. I love Killian. Look at us crying. They took him away. Don't worry. We'll go there now. Killian helped me up and led me to a part of the hallway which was less covered in blood. Okay, where's my soulmate? Where's Amrit? Ooh! I sank to the floor again. Yeah, we are done. Our powers are at their... Finally, my baby! Amrit closed the distance in seconds, kneeling down in front of me. Gently wiping the blood from my lips, he looked with disdain at the bodies lying around us. How are you? Did they do anything else to you? It doesn't matter. We need to go to the ritual room. It's here, isn't it? Oh, Ratan! I still feel so bad for how I slandered him in season 2. He turned out to be such a cutie. He needs to be protected. We have to protect him. Not we, Amala. They'll go first and then you and I will follow. What do you mean? You want to get in there to sort things out and leave me behind to go crazy with worry? Calm down. No one said anything like that. Killian, Amrit and their men will simply go first. We don't know how Vimal is going to react. If something goes wrong, they'll bear the brunt of it. Then you and I will join them. No one is suggesting that you sit back, but this is the most reasonable way to go about this. You know the problem here? I know it's the best option, but I still don't agree. Alright. I nodded vaguely in an attempt to calm myself down. If I wanted to help my brother in Lima, dying within the first few minutes was indeed not the best idea. Shall we go then? Oh my god. A duo I didn't know I needed. Let's go. Yes, let's hurry. Amrit is still looking so fine. Amrit gave his men directions. Even though they all seemed dressed similarly, there were some who looked wealthier than the others. I realized that they must have been representatives of the elite families. Amrit had summoned those loyal to him. Okay. Who's with him? Must be the Rai, Thakur and Dikshil families. I saw those names on the wall. Many of them glanced at me with curiosity, although they tried not to be too obvious. They clearly remembered the elegant lady that Devaras Dubai introduced at that reception, and were now comparing her to me. That woman was beautiful and proud, and this one was lying on the ground, bloodied and shaking with fear. Listen to me, Amala. This is not the time to show your unique kind of bravery. How are you finding it in your heart to tease me? I mean tea. Like, I have enough on my plate as it is. You don't need to add insult to injury. I'm warning you, if you don't listen and come to the original room too early, I won't be able to help you, brother. Simply because I'll be too worried about you instead. Look at AMRIT being so worried. He did have a turnaround in the last episodes where I was like, okay, this is true love. Please make it out of their life. If someone dies, I swear to God. Killian didn't want to listen to our conversation, so he silently followed the other men down the hallway. Ratan tactfully stepped away toward the window, knowing perfectly well what Dubai wanted. It was too personal. He wanted to look at me again, to say goodbye. AMRIT just needed a moment. AMRIT helped me up. As I stood straight, he kept holding my hand. I saw him staring at my fingers. His green-blue eyes seemed to darken. The timing couldn't be worse. He squeezed my hand a little. I stepped closer to him, trying to see his face. What's the matter? Honey! AMRIT chuckled, shaking his head. He brought my hand to his lips and kissed it softly. No, actually, it's the perfect timing. Who but us could do this under these circumstances? What are you talking about? A moment, my Maharani. I'll show you. Wasn't my Maharani my love? Or was that my wife? I'm not sure anymore. AMRIT took a small box. Oh my god! AMRIT took a small box made of familiar red velvet out of his pocket. He handed it to me, nodding at it again. Take a look. It's a ring. It's a ring. Yes! He opened it. Inside there was an expensive antique ring. Oh my god! That's not exactly what you think, or rather it is, at the Puya. I wanted to formally ask you to become my Lady Basu Dubai, but it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters right now, except what's going on in that ritual room. But in another place, under different circumstances, I don't think he's gonna leave until he put that ring on you, girl. That's right, so I will ask for something else. He looked me in the eye. This is my mother's ring. Aww. The family ring, worn by every lady baby. By every lady Dubai, handed down from generation to generation. If you wear it, I will take it as a sign that you have almost joined my family. Aww. I can't, I'm sorry. It sounded romantic until AMRIT added, I could die today. No! Why? Why would you people add that? Why? With this, you'll have the power of both families. It would be different if you had a different last name, but you are a Bazu, and you have the right to lead everyone. Even my men. AMRIT! They will all obey you if they see this family heirloom. Don't say that. Are you saying that this is all just about politics? No. He has all the power in the world and he's willing to give it up all just to make sure that if he should die today, you are being taken care of. You can rule everyone around you and they will listen to you and listen to all of your commands. You wouldn't have to worry about you being in danger. As in, he could die at peace, you know. That's a sign of true love, especially for a guy like him that is such a proud being. He's always saying, yeah, you are beneath me, you are just a Basu, I'm a Dubai. As in, he's very proud of who he is and about his family. He was always like, yeah, if you would have been a commoner, I wouldn't have looked at you twice. I think that was in season 2, where he actually said that. And him actually saying, you take this ring, I could die today. This is such a big gesture of love. Mala, we're the most influential heirs. This is our responsibility. This is your rightful place. Who will lead them if I'm gone? Please, Amala, be the ruler of Bengali and of my heart. See? Look at 96 gems, ladies and gentlemen, but since he's my baby, I have to. Fine. My voice sounded strained. In any other situation, I would have certainly been happy. This is him literally saying, I'm about to die. Like, I feel her inner struggle. But AMRIT had just told me take my place if I die today. And I didn't want to know that there was even 1% chance of that happening. But I knew I had to be mature about it. I couldn't give in to my feelings and stupid fear. I'll take your place if anything happens today. Thank you. It makes you even more incredible in my eyes. Don't be that happy about that, Sarah. Like, If anything, I would be yelling in pain. What you mean? Don't be that excited about that. I promise to be a strong ruler as my ancestors would have wanted. Your words reassure me, my Maharani. Then you don't want to know what I'm saying here. I'm gonna stop. I'm so sorry. Please don't put your feelings for me before your responsibilities. What are you on? I'm not a machine. I won't. Lies, bitch. If I am gonna control you, you're gonna do as I say. I studied the heirloom from all angles. Of course it was anorthosite, but the mineral was surrounded by gold-rimmed diamonds. That ring must have been worth a fortune. It's a priceless piece. Keep it safe. You can wear it later. You never know what we'll have to go through today. AMRIT wants to see you not only as his wife, but also as the ruler of Bengal. And I want to see him as my husband, and not just as a died legend. See you in the ritual room, my Maharani. AMRIT gave me a fleeting kiss on the corner of my lips so as not to brush my wound. Then he rushed after Killian. Not them all fighting together, I'm living. I was worried. I looked at Ratan. Now what? Do we just wait? When can we go in there? Hush. Soon. Are you in a hurry to meet your fate? My fate? Tonight will decide everything. Your future, the future of the dozen, the outcome of the British task force work. It's better not to rush when there's so much at stake. Breathe. I won't let you be late. How are we planning to win? What are they armed with? Will they have firearms? On Mahakali's land, only pure death. Real death is possible when you take someone's life with your own hands. Can I leave? Like, can I just rush out the back door or something? Firearms dispense the lowest form of death. An unworthy one. You don't kill a person, you're gunless. I'm gonna stop. People, I cannot with anything that's going on right now. Now we're discussing that if you don't murder someone with your own hand, the kill was an unworthy one. Alright, whatever you say, Ratan. People here believe that they'll refuse to be held responsible for bringing for an unworthy death. I'm so sorry. They will use blades. The only thing that gave me the slightest bit of confidence was the Dubai's family dagger hidden under my clothes. I'm sorry, but if he's going on like this, the gun kills it and not you. If I use a blade, isn't the blade killing the person and not me? Haha. I had changed 100 times that night, but I always made sure to hide that weapon and keep it with me. I covered my face with my hands. I was starting to give in to despair. Me. Definitely me. Oh my god. Meanwhile, in the ritual room, oh hell no. His vision was foggy. Oh, Kiran! My child! Kiran felt confused, not only because of the blow to his head, but also because he felt like he had been drugged. Oh, that little whore. Don't worry, sir. You are the king. He's the Messiah. Don't worry, sir. Your Messiah powers are gonna come up and you're gonna murder everyone here. It's fine. He could feel in his mouth the nasty aftertaste of Mrs. Chauhan's concoction, the one she mixed within her cups of masala chai. Oh, bitch. Ooh, bitch. Ooh. Two men stood on either side of him guarding him, but Kiran's hands were free. He touched his temple and winced. His head was throbbing. It's fine. I'll feel better soon. Ooh, Kiran! Kiran started recognizing objects and faces, and then he could clearly see that he was in some kind of dungeon filled with people dressed in red cloaks. He seemed to be sitting on an elevated platform by the altar. Lima was not far from him. She looked as if she couldn't believe what was happening around her. Well, oh my god! She is shaken. Comfort her, come on. Hey, Lima, can you hear me? I believe that she cannot hear you. She would be under insane shock. She jerked her head up when she heard her native language. Huh? I'm here. She turned in his direction. The man on either side of her looked displeased. She hadn't done anything, but they didn't need an excuse to be aggressive. Kiran, what the hell's going on here? They want to... Someone barked at Kiran to shut his mouth. Shut the fuck up, sir. I'll play dumb and pretend I don't understand the language. If you want to shut me up, tell me in English. Honestly, I love that because of the power of the Messiah that is running through his veins, that he's capable to understand the language now. I love it. Nah, exactly. Be that bitch, Kiran, be that bitch. I don't understand a damn thing. If you want to tell me something, tell it to me in English. Kiran made a confused face and turned back to Lima and hurriedly whispered, Yes, but you know they won't manage to do anything, I'm sure of it. Why? Did you see the commotion back at the Dubai's estate? They won't let this happen. Do you even know my sister? She'll turn everything upside down when she gets here looking for us. None of these people will make it out alive, period. You know me. I know her. I believe in her. Kiran. Respect, let's go! His last words suddenly made him realize that right then Amala could have been in the exact same position as them, if not worse. If that was the case, maybe even her stubborn resilience wouldn't have been enough for her to escape. Lima noticed Kiran's expression darkening. Despite what he'd been through, he was still trying to comfort her. He didn't think about himself and didn't give in to panic. He saw how distressed she was and tried to find the right words. It really touched her heart. That he is so pure. Why is it always the good people that suffer? Why is it always the good people that die? Can someone tell me that? Why are the good people always the one that get the short end of the stick? Why? Lima's grateful to Kiran for his support. You're right. They can't stop her. No one ever could. That I do what I want. That's right. One of the men roughly shoved Kiran in the shoulder. Shut the fuck up, sir. He and Lima had to shut up. Oh, you shut up. Who are you to shut my child up like that? Ooh, he's gonna be the first one to die. I already have a list. One of the people that I wanted to die already are dead. Now it's Weimel. It's Weimel now. A loud familiar voice cut through the air. Ah, and Mrs. Chauhan. People, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready to listen to this man's voice. The only way out if she's the one who will bring Kali Yuga shouldn't be give her to the Dark Mother. Malak Ali wants her, so let her take her. Her blood will nourish and satiate Mother for many decades to come. Cheers exploded all around. What you mean? Either Kiran had been through too much in the past few days, or he'd lost what was left of his sanity after being hit on the head, but he wasn't feeling quite so scared anymore. He was worried, yes, his muscles stiff with tension, but it wasn't fear. Kiran suddenly realized he must have learned to be strong from the people in his life. Period. At this point he has to be strong. There is no other way. You do not show them that you are scared, sir. You are way too strong for this. Strong enough not to panic, but to act, to look for a solution. He looked at Weimel. Shut him up, sir. Death to the Messiah. Death to the Bassus. Uh-huh. Ooh, and another respect point, alright. He was holding some unassuming blade in his hands. Kiran was surprised to see such a prominent person wielding such a humble weapon. You took the Dubai's family dagger. Weimel has to make do with a generic ritual dagger, period. Weimel continued. Those fallen women fled from their native land. We looked for them all over India for 2 years, and only when the Messiah was born, the Brahmical Dubai family felt everything and realized the truth. There were no Basu women left in the country. The prophecy speaks of a mixed-blood Messiah, which could only mean one thing. At that moment, Priyanka leaned closer to Kiran, whispering excitedly, This bitch is still here. She has to leave. Be patient, my boy. We'll be done soon. This woman is insane. She has to leave. Path of loyalty. Why are you doing this? You know I'll never be a son. You won't, but I will need your energy. Excuse me, bitch. What? Is she trying to use Kiran's energy to get a son? Priyanka was clutching in her hand a pot filled with her concoction. Bitch. Suddenly she staggered. Bitch, what you think you're doing? Get away from him, you bitch, period. Oh, Lima. Oh, period. Lima had kicked her with all her strength. Period. Lima, you nasty woman. Nah, Priyanka, you have to leave before I kill you. As Priyanka took a step in her direction, Kiran growled that, Stay away from her or you'll regret it. You know what happened the last time you tried him, bitch. He spoke with such hatred in his voice that Priyanka suddenly felt uncomfortably warm. She clutched at her chest, crumbling at the fabric of her sari, and backed away. We'll fix it all. Excuse me. Lima turned to Kiran, surprised. What happened to his voice? What did he just say? It wasn't like him at all. Why did Priyanka listen to him? Because it's his power as the Messiah. She's driving me insane. I'm getting so angry. Kiran's curse still lingers in Priyanka's soul. Thanks to this, Lima avoided being hit. Period. In the meantime, Dubai was continuing his speech. It took my brother 2 years to start searching abroad and decided to punish that Basu family. Do you remember the Holy 15-7 in Klippagrami? The people in the hall roared. It was too much of a coward to carry out the sentence. You need someone who will lead the dozen forward without hesitation. Vaimo was interrupted by a crash at the end of the hall. Me? Oh no, we had to stop. We had to wait. Is it Amrit? A group of people entered the room, 2 men at the front. Period. Killian! Amrit, is it over? Oh, I'm seeing pictures. I'm getting backflashes, people. Isn't that the room where Amrit kept on sacrificing those people? Amrit started clapping slowly and loudly. Oh my god, be that bitch, Amrit, be that bitch. You know, that dramatic Karen. In this point of view, be that dramatic bitch, Amrit. Come on. What a speech, uncle. Have you always been such a lousy speaker? Did my dear nephew come here by himself to volunteer, he said? No, Vaimo, I'm gonna be the one to put your head on the line. Can't wait to kill me. Vaimo's speech parted in front of Amrit. They wouldn't dare touch anyone without a direct order. Amrit's men followed him just as obediently. Amrit looked around the room. Is this what you want? A deceitful ruler. A strong ruler. Your father isn't one. Look at the altar. Why are his men standing next to the victims? Your ruler has allowed his servants to be on the sacred altar of Mahadevi, where only priests and victims should be. Amrit was talking about the 4 guards standing next to Lima and Kiran. Honestly, I'm in love with Amrit at this point. That's why no one dares to come too close to the altar. They're just not allowed. Well, what about this man then? Vaimo twists the rules as it suits him. Did you ask your father's permission before coming to meet your death? I'm the head of the Dubai family now, and after those an anti-sect, and I won't hesitate to execute traitors. You seem upset that my father couldn't carry out his own sentence. Well, I sure can. I'm sentencing you to death. Treason is unforgivable. Period. Oh. You the hit. The devil has truly have enough sense to loosen his grip and give away to someone smarter. I simply took what was mine. Period. A whisper rippled through the crowd. People were impressed with what they heard, and some were clearly starting to doubt the choice they made. That's why you think before you do things. Do you really believe that I won't kill you? Why do you think your father asked me to deal with the Basu family? Why do you think I cut my childhood friend's throat without a moment of hesitation? Jitsna begged me for mercy, but I know how to be cruel and unrelenting. I was born that way. Now you were born a coward and an unfitting ruler. You are not fit for that position. Now you know that he murdered your grandma. Let out the rage, sir. Let out the Messiah power inside of you. I know you can do it. He had cut his mother's throat. What, isn't Yutzinya? I think that actually was the mom's name. I'm sorry, I thought it was the grandma's name. He had cut his mother's throat. After the initial shock, Kiran was overwhelmed by a wave of emotions. He killed your mother. Rage was the strongest of them all. Period. Use your Messiah powers. He suddenly jumped up and screamed. It's you. You killed her. Murderer. Kiran, don't provoke them. Silence. Go ahead, my boy. You still don't want to shut up, girl? Priyanka tried to calm him down. Bitch, leave! But Kiran shook her off, kicking and screaming, and knocked a pot of tea out of her hands. It crashed on the stone floor, all its nasty contents spilling on the ground. My bro, you brat. Nana. Kiran knew about his mother's death and was ready to react. Priyanka's concoction is lost, period. That's why we tell things to people that matter. The servants roughly subdued him and sat him back down. Do not touch me. Meanwhile, Amrit moved further down the hall. Killian followed at a distance, watching everyone and waiting for a signal.
And you're proud of that? I'm just explaining the obvious. Anyone who goes against me will follow the Messiah and the other two victims.
Go ahead then. Period, Amala. Come on. Be the queen and the goddess we all want to be right now. Be me. Several dozen people turned as my voice rang through the hall. How's it going, bitches? I was standing at the entrance to the ritual room, struggling with the horror rising in me as I realized I had just stepped into my nightmares. I had seen that the hall in my vision so many times. I knew how much blood and how many bodies had been there and how many screams those ancient walls had heard. Before I die, I'll rip your throat out. I'm not gonna die. Let's see if that works. Killing those who are weaker is just your style. You're pathetic, and no arrogant speech about this great revenge of yours will help you atone for your sins. Ooh. That had to hurt. I needed to keep moving forward, but I felt like I was voluntarily walking into my nightmare. A calm voice whispered to me, Amrit? Ratan. Ratan.
Don't be afraid. Go ahead.
I took a step, then another one, and then I confidently walked on. You're a queen, girl. Keep on walking. As I got close to him, Amrit murmured,
You're early.
No, I'm just on time. I wasn't a second too early. Everyone around us was on edge. I couldn't tell if we were outnumbered or not. On Vaimal's side were the Chauhans, the Banerjees, the Prasads, and some families I didn't recognize together with their attendants. The servants wore unremarkable clothes, while the nobles were covered by red cloaks with colorful sherwani peeking out of them. It looked very similar on Amrit's side, but the representatives of the dozen were in hiding their faces. Show me something.
You've come here voluntarily. How convenient. Make yourself comfortable, Amala. I saved you front row seat.
Shut up, bitch. Another massacre seemed inevitable, but it promised to be the final one. I had only a few seconds to make a decision. Killian, who was standing nearby, quietly whispered,
Don't do anything stupid.
Oh, Killian, I need an advantage. At least something. I need to corner them like rats. Not like rats. Kindness of God is path. This means massacre, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to deliver final blows. They belong to the dark corners of humankind. Our society doesn't need traitors and conspirators. Jesus. The dozen will deal appropriately with those who will survive. I'll try to distract Vaimal and give Amrit a hint that he should act. I didn't know if I was going to succeed. The most important thing right at that moment was to remain calm, because I could see them, Kiran and Lima, at the altar, sitting there ready to be... No, I wasn't going to let that happen. No. I discreetly touched Amrit's hand. I hoped our connection could let him feel my hope and agitation. You know me, sir. You know what I want to say. He was watching me closely. Oh, hell no. They can see through me. If Vaimal gets angry, he might harm Kiran. That's too much of a risk. I pulled my hand away. Amrit seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. Priyanka screamed.
We're wasting time. You promised to help me, Dubai. How long should I wait for his soul? That's it. I'm going to start.
She approached Kiran. Don't you dare.
She wants my soul?
Yes. The screams caused a commotion in the hall. People, I'm scared. Why did I need that many respect points?
It's starting.
Amrit drew his blade and ordered his men to fight their way to the front.
Don't spare any of these traitors. They will kill you at the first opportunity. Vaimal, you have lost your mind. None of you will ever leave Samsara.
Period. You know he's the ruler of Samsara. He's not gonna let you go anywhere else, ever again. No one even thought about touching Ratan. A silent observer, as always, he stood there looking at the one responsible for that massacre.
We're not scared. Everybody will be decided by the goddess, not an avatar.
Vaimo stepped aside with a grin, enjoying the sight. It was as if he was waiting for the right moment to begin his ritual. Ratan tried not to interfere, but seeing all the chaos around him, he realized that he couldn't stand idly by. So he approached Vaimo. The massacre began. Uh-oh. Terrible, cruel, and completely insane. It was difficult to tell friends from foes. I wasn't fast enough to be able to fight. I couldn't help in any way. I hesitated, but Killian grabbed my arm.
What is this? Come on, Amala. Let's get the altar. I'll get Lima and you get Kiran. We'll do it faster together.
We have to get there somehow. We try to get closer. Oh my god. At that moment, 2 men holding daggers jumped at Killian. The first one aimed at his chest. Killian kicked him. Before his attacker could do anything, Killian roughly kicked him in the stomach, knocking him down. The next attacker was there within seconds. He grabbed my arm, trying to shove me away. Hands off me! Killian got distracted by and broke his nose. He pulled me closer. Killian didn't let me get separated from him, roughly pushing the man with his shoulder. The man lost his balance and fell down, just to be trampled by the front side crowd. Oh, that's funny. Killian noticed the third attacker from afar. He was running straight toward us, picking up speed, probably planning to cut off both of our heads, bitch. There was only one option. Killian shot him.
He could have warned me sooner that he'd wanted to die.
Killian.
I'd have been better prepared.
Despite his sarcastic tone, you know Killian wants to shoot them. Killian didn't lose focus and got his gun ready. He quickly aimed and fired one clear shot. The man dropped dead. We were getting closer to the altar. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at all this. My heart beat faster when I saw Priyanka doing something to Kiran, reaching for his mouth. Bitch! He was shaking his head, grimacing. She's torturing him, Killian.
There's a shitload of them here.
Killian roughly elbowed some man and shot another. He fought well and someone's blood splattered on his tattooed skin. You do not touch Kiran! Despite his massive build, he managed to be incredibly agile and fast.
I don't know how to get there faster.
Killian picked up a small dagger he found on the floor next to a dead man and hit it. Killian was suddenly joined by several more people wearing blue shervains. A tall, well-built man was fighting next to them. He addressed me in Bengali.
Run, Miss Bazu. The Sharma family's on your side. We'll deal with them. If you get to that Asura, stab him in the heart with a dagger and tell him that's gift from Avur Sharma.
In other words, say that it's karma, bitch. He said it's karma. Thank you. Avur, the head of Sharma family and Lalit's husband, turned his attention back to the fight. Kiran convinced the Sharmas to take Amrit's side. They are fighting for you. Oh, I knew that I knew him from somewhere. Killian took my hand and pulled me toward the altar.
Come on, we have more people to fight.
We rushed on. You do not touch my child, Kiran. Priyanka was trying to get Kiran to drink the last of her concoction, but she was distracted by Lima's joyful scream. Period. They're coming. They're close. Lima perked up, but the guards shut her up. Priyanka made a dismissive hand gesture and muttered,
To hell with this brew. You've drunk enough of it. I'd better get to the main part.
Girl, leave. Thanks to Avur Sharma's help, you're moving fast. Priyanka didn't have time to poison Kiran.
This potion isn't the most important part of my ritual, boy.
She took out a dagger. Bitch, you are not. Oh my gosh, are we seeing this? We're in Ghostland again. We're on the land of the boots. When I saw that, I panicked. Killian! I pulled Lightwood by his sleeve and then, without waiting for an answer, I rushed to my brother.
Damn it, stop her, Lightwood.
That! AMRIT... He said that as in to stop me? Nah, bitch. I'm running there. AMRIT was fighting somewhere close to us. Apparently, he had no intention to go directly to Vaimo for whatever reason. Priyanka was holding her dagger in front of Kiran's face. What was she going to do? How much time did I have? We were already close to the altar, but several people in the crowd pushed me and I fell to the floor. Having finished off one of Vaimo's men, Killian quickly helped me up. We need to stop her now. Shoot her. Leg, head, I don't give a fuck. Period. Killian didn't need me to say it twice. He aimed, but two men immediately rushed at him trying to hurt him.
Shit, I can't aim.
I can distract them, don't worry. All fear left my body. I just moved without thinking. I had no other choice. I needed to help my brother. Made stronger by that feeling, I jumped at the men, grabbed their hair, dug my fingers into their eyes, and scratched their skin with my nails. One of them swore and another howled in pain, trying to shrug me off. You do not get in the way of me and saving my baby brother. I grabbed one of them tightly, not letting him move. That gave Killian a couple of seconds to aim without wasting any more time. A shot rang out. Period. Priyanka clutched at her wounded shoulder, now gushing with scalded blood. The dagger fell out of her hands. She dropped to her knees, trying to cover her head. She was afraid that the next bullet was going to be fatal.
Get away from me.
Oh, thanks to you, Kiran didn't get hurt. Yes. Okay, everything's fine. She crawled away to take cover. Where do you think you're going, bitch? Killian ran to help Lima, and I tried to free my brother. I had just about stepped in his direction when one of the men guarding him knocked me down.
Miss, you have no authority to do this.
You're still alive, but a servant. On this altar?
Did you want me to be killed out there like everyone else?
No, I wanted to kill you with my own hands. Did you want me to die like everyone else? I mean, at this point, yes. I'm very sorry that you weren't slaughtered early like an animal. Hansel laughed, closing his fingers around my neck. Bitch, you are not. I clawed at his hands, but I couldn't even loosen his grip. His fingers tightened in a frenzy. I thought he was going to break my neck instead of choking me. Kindness of Goddess path? Ooh, I only need a little more strength to break free and kill him first. Ooh. I acted on instinct. Of course, that's what I would do. Summoning all my strength, I took out Vimal's ritual blade from the folds of my skirt and stabbed Hansel in the neck. That. His grip loosened. I took a deep gasp of air and then coughed. Hansel went limp, weakened, and then slowly sank to the floor. This was self-defense, girl. Don't even feel bad about that. I hastily crawled out from under him, rubbing my throbbing neck. Killed him. You killed him, yes, but it was self-defense. Kindness of Goddess path. That excited me. What? He's dead. When you have kindness of Goddess path, you're a cold-blooded killer. I think we already established that we're pretty cold-hearted with kindness of Goddess path. There was no time to panic. I immediately crawled up to Kiran. Meanwhile, Vimal stood in a dark corner and watched the bloodshed taking place in front of him, of course, running away and hiding behind his soldiers like a coward. The bloodshed he started. He was enjoying it. He thought about how the Dark Mother would be sated, and about how much vital energy he had gathered for her. Him, a wise, cunning ruler. In order not to get his hands dirty, Vimal was waiting for his followers to deal with Amrit's men, see? He needed only two people, Amala and that British woman. Why? He wasn't interested in Kiran. He had promised the boy's soul to Priyanka in exchange for her help. Mahakali was going to transform his vital energy into Priyanka's future child. Oh, hell no. The woman was still obsessed with motherhood. Nah, she's gonna die today. But Vimal no longer had any use for her. She had been eavesdropping on his behalf, watching, reporting their every step. He agreed to the ritual only because of his promise to her. But if it didn't work, Vimal wasn't going to care. He only needed the Messiah and the red-headed woman to play the part of the innocent and whom he would sacrifice. Who was going to be the guilty? His nephew? That meathead from London? That didn't matter. I'm sorry.
You're mistaken. Mahakali won't praise you, but she will instead condemn you to eternal unbearable suffering.
Ratan, yes. Vimal startled, then turned around at a voice.
Mahadevarita Shiva, yours are just empty words. Even you, the avatar of a god, cannot know everything. Mahakali is too great for you to predict her actions. And you can't hurt me. You'll drop dead in the same breath if you try. Right. You arrogant mortal, I can't.
Ooh. But can they exactly summon the boots, bitch? Ratan waved his hands and suddenly inhuman, utterly worldly voices howled. Ooh! The hands of the dead reached out from the walls.
You can do this. You wouldn't dare.
Are you sure I wouldn't dare? I
I will be glad to prove you Ratan. This man is iconic. Oh my god, Ratan, yes. I will be glad to prove you wrong, sir. I will be glad to prove you wrong. You wouldn't dare? Oh no, bitch, I dare. We heard a terrifying and painfully familiar howl. Dead, tormented, and angry Boots appeared in the ritual room. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. People started screaming. The tormented souls, Ratan is fulfilling his part of the plan. Amrit glanced at his people, Mahadevas, men divisible on their arms. They had done this before entering Vimal's house in case Ratan needed to summon the dead. And it worked. The Boots only attacked Vimal's people, gnawing at them, scratching them, strangling them. Amrit's men looked afraid of them, but were all spared. Period. Vimal approached the altar. Period. He clutched the ritual dagger in his hand, pushing away the Boots. What do you think you're doing, bitch? However, it couldn't inflict the same pain as his lost heirloom. With only a simple blade, Vimal could only protect a few of his followers. The others had to fight, left to their own devices. Vimal only has a generic ritual dagger. It doesn't protect well against the Boots, so they can attack people nearby. Vimal headed toward Lima. He knew things might not be turning out in his favor, so he began searching for his main targets. Bitch! He didn't need Giran, but he didn't want to come to me right away either. He was afraid. Killian was protecting Lima. He immediately took aim with his gun. A couple of shots and some of Vimal's men fell to the ground dead. Period. But a few more rushed. All at once, and Killian began to fight back furiously. Bloody bastards, I'll kill you. Not just you, Killian. Vimal was already next to Lima. Bastard, if you kill me, I'll wait for you in the next world. I'm sorry to disappoint you, girl, but those who get sacrificed remain in the darkness forever. His man grabbed her and yanked her to her feet. Vimal ran his fingers through her red hair so that she couldn't run away. That! Ratan saw it. He was suddenly overcome by a feeling rarely experienced by the gods. Does he care about Lima? Worry! Oh my gosh! He clenched his fists, calling back his subjects. Maybe he was afraid for Lima, but his pallor revealed his lack of energy. Oh my gosh, Ratan! I love Ratan! He has such a big heart. Ratan was trying to save it, probably for the worst possible outcome. We can't just let her die. Like, what is this? Lima! Kiran was already in my arms. The second guard had just been killed by a boot. I held my brother close to me so that no one would touch him. I left to show you what happens when you don't listen to me. I could have sacrificed you quickly and painlessly, but now you left to suffer. He swung his arm. No! Suddenly someone stopped his hand. Rishi! Oh, I knew that he was a child of mine. I knew this bitch was a child of mine. Okay, people, a round of applause for our child Rishi. Yes, yes, yes. We love you, Rishi. Yes. You've fallen too low. This is too much. Rishi. Yes, Rishi. You're betraying your own principles. We need the blood of an innocent victim, don't we? But why make her suffer? You're hiding behind religion, but actually you're just a cruel sadist. Oh, Rishi! Yes! You convinced Rishi to go against his father and side with Amrit. Yes, Rishi! Yes, Rishi! Be the icon you are. Be the icon you have always been destined to become. His voice was firm and confident, but I was well aware of how much Rishi feared his father, and that makes him even more powerful and iconic in my eyes. If you're capable to face your fear, I knew how much effort it must have taken him to stand up to him. Vimal slowly turned to face his son. There was unspeakable fury in his eyes. You weak, stupid brat. Do you dare to lecture me? I will not obey you blindly anymore just because you're my father. I have a code of honor. Period, Rishi. I wouldn't harm my own family. I have a heart after all. Ooh! People around us were shocked that the son had defied his father. That's how insane Vimal Dubai's ideology was. He was rewriting all the rules. You do nothing for the greater good. You're drunk on power, claiming you hacked out of concern for our society. That's enough.
What you want, Weimel? Weimel swung his arm in a sadly familiar gesture to give his son a slap in the face. Who's gonna stop him now? There was a loud slap. Rishi's cheek instantly turned red. Bitch. Why did no one stop him this time? This time it should have been Lee Mount at this point. He slowly turned back to face his father, staring at him with contempt.
You're going to pay for all of this. Don't you dare touch her.
Earlier, Rishi told you that he's not ready for drastic measures yet, but the worst of it was only beginning. Weimel roughly pushed his son down to the second tier of the altar. Rishi didn't expect him to do that, so he stumbled and fell on his back.
You're insane. No, I'm just freeing myself of my family's disgrace.
Weimel jumped down after Rishi. He was still clutching the dagger. Rishi backed away, but there were two more of his father's men waiting for him, and they stopped him easily.
You're making a mistake. You're right, I'm not the kindest person, but I'm not a monster.
What the fuck?
So there is some humanity left in you after all? A father cannot do something like this.
No, he's gonna kill you fast. Weimel looked up at his men. He's gonna get his servants to do it for him. You are a piece of shit.
Kill him.
Then he turned around and walked back up to the altar. This bitch is insane.
That's absurd. You can't kill members of the dozen.
He's the youngest to buy heir. This is madness. Loud screams of outrage rang out in the hall, but there were also those who supported Weimel.
It's about time we got rid of the rats in our society. He went against his father. You can't just let it go.
The man put a knife to Rishi's throat. He pressed so hard that the young man couldn't even swallow. Who is going to save my child?
Rishi, Weimel, are you insane? To hell with me, but he's your son.
Dad! Amrit violently pushed his attacker away and rushed to the altar.
He made the right choice at this crucial moment, only for us to repay him with death.
That.
Rishi and Lalit are worthy heirs. We can't let them die.
Thank you. They deserve to live. Everything got even more confusing. No one knew what to do, who to obey, who to fight. He pressed the blade across Rishi's throat. Rishi! The young man wheezed, clutching his neck.
Heartless, cruel mortals. Your lives are already short and you're stabbing each other on purpose.
Rishi's eyes rolled back. In a few seconds he was dead. His bloody corpse remained on the second tier of the Makali altar. Who is going to fucking murder that fucking bitch? I talked to him just hours ago in the garden and now he's dead. Who is going to kill that motherfucking bitch? Suddenly a crash echoed in the hall. Oh hell no, we have to murder him. This is personal now. Everyone seemed shocked by the death of the young Dubai and by his father's indifference. This bitch! Can we murder him, please? But when the sounds got even louder, it was no longer possible to ignore them. Gabriel's squad was late because they didn't know the way to the ritual room. This led to Rishi's death? What? Everyone got distracted, turning to the source of the noise. A moment later, the door swung open. Gabriel was standing in the doorway, and behind him was a group of British mercenaries.
Foreigners in our sanctuary.
Grant looked around the room full of wounded and dead with a disapproving gaze.
A well-hidden spot. We've been searching for a while, but we still found it. Grant?
Killian was gently holding Lima. A new player had joined the games. What? A new gamer? What do you mean a new gamer? The first night of Kali Puja was soaked in blood. Amrit's people rushed back to fight Weimel's men, and Gabriel's squad was trying to fight both. People, I'm shook. Rishi did not just die. Like I said, it's always the good people that get the short end of the stick. People hit from bullets behind dead bodies. To die of dishonorable death was more terrible than being struck by Kalidasa. People, I'm in pain right now. No one helped anyone. No one was a friend. They were all enemies there, wishing death on each other. A cruel, shameful, and quick death. They all have to leave me alone for today. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Vimal grabbed me from behind. Can we finally murder him? Huh?
No.
He pressed me to him and shouted so that everyone could hear.
I'll kill her now if you don't stop, I swear. I didn't spare my own son. Do you think I'll show mercy to you?
Vimal pulled a dagger on me. No, they shouldn't fall for this. I'm going to slow him down and spill my blood. This will take him by surprise. He'll lose his advantage and get confused for a few moments, and that should be enough for help to get to me. With a quick, sudden movement, I deftly placed my hand between the dagger and my skin.
What are you?
He didn't have time to finish his sentence. I squeezed the blade hard and cut my hand. You remembered the value of your blood and shed it yourself. This will affect the plot.
Are you insane? I'm the one who'll kill you.
Oh, is that how things are? He grabbed my hand and then squeezed it harder in his so that the blade would plunge as deep as possible into my flesh. Blood trickled down my fingers, dotting the altar beneath me.
Well, are you still doubting me? Do you want the Messiah to die? Let the one you serve so tirelessly appear. With the malice blood, it will be even easier to awaken her. This was a huge mistake.
A strange vibration coursed through the ritual room. Come on, use your powers, Kiran! The torches started burning brighter. The red light hurt my eyes, driving me crazy. Vimal laughed, raising his hands to the ceiling.
Yes, Ma Kali feels the blood of the Messiah. She wants to drink more.
Ma Kali's more likely to be angry at your madness. You'll pay for this. Standing behind me, Vimal grabbed me by my neck and leaned toward my ear. He whispered so that only I could hear his words. Amrit twisted his ring, realizing that the second to last stage was over. Vimal's voice sounded very close.
You know, your mother was a very smart woman. Why did she leave? Maybe she wasn't afraid that you would give birth to the Messiah. Maybe she guessed that you were the Messiah. Each new sign pointed to it. Ratan must have realized everything when he found her. My brother offered her a deal. She had to come back here without making a fuss. Otherwise, we would have dealt directly with her children. Bastard! Devadas wanted to get her back into her affairs. But I knew she was a lost woman.
Shut up!
She begged me not to touch you, even when she was at death's door.
You know the problem here? He's actually doing this just to hurt us, so that we will be so hurt that we won't even think about trying to fight him anymore. This is fighting dirty on a whole nother level. This is him actually just trying to provoke us.
It's such a shame that your mother came back to India without saying a word to you. But sometimes I break my promises. Even though she came back to protect you, I still killed her. I had told her, don't give birth to the Messiah, Jotsina. Devadas was furious. He even stopped trusting me. But in the end found it in himself to forgive me. What can you expect of him? He's a weak man.
Nah, he's an honorable man, if anything. Respect, a terrible pain shot through my chest at the realization that my mother had sacrificed herself for us. She had allowed them to drag her back to the place she'd fled only so that we wouldn't get hurt. I loved her. I missed her. And I was right. She protected us until her last breath. You always believed that your mother didn't abandon you. Of course. Like, I don't buy shit until I see actual proof. Vimal spoke louder, addressing everyone.
We will never know her madness. She's with us, at the same time rejected by everyone. Death to the Messiah.
Nah, death to your sorry ass. If we don't murder this man, a stranger to all, a relative to everyone, desired and rejected by all. Amrit's eyes suddenly widened. His uncle's words gave him an idea. He was struck by the realization of an incredible truth. Amrit took out Kalidasa and quickly got to the altar where Kiran was. He is the Messiah. Kiran didn't even have time to react, and neither did Vimal. Grabbing my brother by the shoulder, Amrit pulled him along.
What are you doing? Awakening the Dark Mother. What?
Amrit took Kiran's hand and without saying a word slashed his palm, period, because he is the fucking Messiah. Let's go! Let's go! What the hell? He is the Messiah. How many times do I have to say it? Then Amrit shook Kiran's hand and his blood sprinkled the altar.
Come on, I know I'm right.
Period, Amrit. But the fact that you took so long. Kiran shared his vision about the prophecy. Thanks to this, Amrit figured everything out. Period. Several more torches lit up. Finally, Amrit added a third blood, his own, from a sacred ancient family of Brahims as a guide. Vaimo was so fascinated by what was happening that he let go of me and watched.
No, it can't be. Devadas told me everything. He didn't trust you, and he outsmarted you. It's time to wake up, our mother. The Messiah will come during the coming Kali Yuga on the eve of Durga Puja. A strange to all, a relative to everyone, desired and rejected by all. The mixed blood that will be shed on the native land will awaken the Dark Mother. There will be anger and mercy shining in the Messiah's eyes. Like a bright beam of light, they will be called to dispel the darkness and cleanse the world. Oh, the build-up, I'm sorry. Two parts of a single whole will become a new beginning or end. Two parts, two messiahs, a brother and a sister.
Killian! The walls shook. While Vaimo was distracted, I pulled away from him and rushed to Kiran. My brother caught me, holding me against him with one arm. I could feel his heart pounding. Look at this! That looks so cute! There it was, the answer to all our questions. Ridiculously simple and short. The answer was us. Both of us! Really? I thought it was just him, the Messiah. Kiran and Amala Basu. One took after the Dubai men, the other after the Basu women. I mean, yes, it kind of makes sense. But you all know what I thought. You know what I thought. I said it so many times. I thought that he was the Messiah just because he was born into the Basu family, but he looks like a Dubai. It's mixed blood. But I would say, okay, I would say that makes sense. But neither of them was of pure blood. There was some Kshatriya blood in Kiran and some Brahim blood in me. But at the same time, we were strangers to both castes. We felt out of place in England, and we were foreigners in India. But at the same time, we were close to everything. Mixed blood, two noble families, two different heritages. We were brought up under the influence of two cultures. Amala, crystal clear. Kiran, sunbeam. The Messiah will awaken the Dark Mother, who, like a bright beam of light, will dispel the darkness and cleanse the world. We only had each other, and we were there to stop that madness. Two parts of a single whole will become a new beginning or end. They explained every word of that prophecy. I love that. Kiran looked at his hands, unable to believe what was happening, who he was, everything around us, the fierce struggle that engulfed in flames the centuries-old refuge of Mahakali. Kiran laughed.
Madness, Amala, this is madness, and it's driving me crazy.
Ratan was wrong. Even he couldn't have predicted this. Priyanka's psychotropic concoction must have affected my brother. And the Basu part in him is strong enough too. Kiran clenched his fists as heat surged inside him. After a few moments, he seemed to be engulfed by an inner uncontrollable fire. Okay, that's not me, but it's fine. Yes, bitch! Yes, bitch! Show them all who you are. The room suddenly filled with a burst of roaring laughter. A huge shadow flashed across the wall, sliding over the statue of the goddess. Everyone started looking around, fear in their eyes. Each of us could feel the presence of someone great. Mahadevi had woken up from a long sleep. Wait, what? She came to her children to begin the final stage of the world's existence. To be continued. They had no reason to do me dirty like that, people. They had no reason to do me dirty like that. Oh my god. Nah. I don't even know what to say right now. Like, this was just spilling tea all over the place. We as well are the Messiah was something I didn't expect. But like I said, I suppose it makes sense. I thought that it was more Kiran, but it's fine. It makes sense. So I'm intrigued to know what next episode is gonna be like. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye!